Hi, this is the Jacobowitz fam. We're here today and we're going to talk about why history should be placed back into the school curriculum. Okay, first, if anyone wants to start off, I'll start off. I think history should be placed back into the school curriculum because it builds bonds between different people, different cultures. And one thing which I think we've lost because we really don't know about other people's culture. The children don't know. You ask young people who was Dr. Martin Luther King. They say Dr. Who? So I really think that history needs to be put back into school.
I think it needs to go back because we need to stop killing innocent people and have a genocide. Main point, center and point.
Another important thing about history is we let kids grow up and grow up without it, to have no bone and no tie into the past. It's important to know that some of the relatives passed on fighting for this country so they can get an education and they could be here and grow. And their parents should push it a little bit so they understand that, hey, without my kids knowing what our families have been through to get here and what they've given for it, it just let them know a spirit and a feeling for this place that we live in. And we're all supposed to take care of it and each other. That's what America's about. Everybody came here, and the Pilgrims got with the Indians they started, and that's it. From there it grew.
Even before that, with the great Christopher Columbus, no one talks about the fact that he didn't land in America, and we still celebrate it. He landed in the Bahamas. People, the Bahamas is like the 4 o'clock position to America.
Yeah.
Trust me. He was off by a lot.
Let's talk about history, put it back into school.
And how do you find and conquer something that is already owned? I hear crickets going on in the
You're talking
background.
about the Native Americans being here before Christopher Columbus?
I hear crickets going off in the background, no answers.
I don't think they ever told us about that. But speaking of putting history back into school, let's tell the truth. Let's make that transparent. Let's tell the real history about what happened, not what we adults make up and want children to know. Let's tell the truth this time.
Let's tell people actually Adolf Hitler is not Donald Trump. Adolf Hitler was Adolf Hitler of Germany. Let's have people read Mein Kampf again and let them know, that it's sad. Everything in Mein Kampf was based on his hatred. People need to stop praising that as,
You can't praise that as a future, having hatred. We could have just a little friendship between other people and learn about them and they can learn about you and everybody can get along a lot better. Like the old joke you see, why can't we all get along? And it ain't such a joke, it's something serious. You would have people dying in the streets all the time.
Yeah, I don't think there would be that much hatred if we knew about each other. Even if to do stuff like have cultural events. I remember when I was growing up in school, they used to have cultural events. You used to learn about Asian people, Latinos, people from all over the world. Today, the kids in school don't learn about other cultures, and I think it's really important. You're living with people of other cultures. Why can't you learn about them? Is it a secret? Is it going to harm you? Knowledge is gold. We need to open up our minds and start learning about other people. We have other countries there, and no one know about these other countries. America is not the only country that exists. There are other countries out there. We should learn about them.
It's like me, for example. I have friends of mine that are African American and Japanese, and one thing they don't talk about is that there are a lot of African Americans that say "Bye bye America," and they're saying that they live peaceful and more happier in Japan. And people need to stop opening their mouth in the wrong way, saying, if you don't like America, you can leave. Well, it's our country. I'm like, yeah, you forget the Native Americans should have been telling you guys that a long time ago.
And we're also will unite us a little bit more, getting along with some of these other people with different culture that we don't know about. I mean, they don't speak English sometimes, but maybe, you speak your language, and they speak their language. But if you join together, I was in a YMCA one time with my kids, and me and the kids were talking. This lady was over there, and we started talking with her, and she was Chinese. And I said, I really want somebody to understand what I'm saying. So the lady calls, I go out in the hall and get this lady in. She comes in, sits down by the table, and we're talking to her and saying, I just met this lady, and we were having a conversation. I wanted to tell her, you know, there's a whole bunch of things that were going on. And she said, you know what the funniest part about it? I said, no, what's that? That's my aunt. She just came over on a bookcase and China to visit with us for the holidays. And we all sat at the table and laughed for a few minutes. And we related different things we wanted to ask her and speak to her about. And we just had a laugh. It was funny, you know. Everybody trying to get along with everybody, you know.
You know.
So sometimes it's a lot easier just to get along and see where you can go with them than just be nasty with people, you know.
You know, it's like people today. You know, they're talking about bringing back Soul Train and American Bandstand. I said, you know, and people look at you like you're crazy when you say, why don't we have American Soul Train? And people look at you like, what does that mean? I said, if I have to explain to you, it ain't worth talking to you. You know?
But that's wrong. You're supposed to say, hey, let me explain you why so we can get along. You're already putting an argument into the situation. We don't want the argument.
But it's just it's the ignorance, you know, and it's clear as day. It could be right there in your face, and they'll be like, "Oh, what does that mean?" You know.
You know something too. You gotta remember
you shouldn't have to, you know, break it down to the point of going back to kindergarten.
Sometimes you do, because a lot of people, you have to remember, live in their own world. They don't experience other people. They don't interact with other people. Everyone stays basically segregated.
In their own little corner.
And if you're segregated, how are you going to learn about other people? You really don't. You close your mind. You're blind to other things. And really, there's so many, different foods, different places.
I love Chinese food.
Okay.
And
you have to experience the different cultures, the different events that go on.
And everybody can get along with this food as an intermediate.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could have the nastiest person throw him a hamburger or a hot dog, and he's smiling. You could throw a person a piece of corn.
Wow.
They'll start laughing, spitting corn at you and stuff at the table. But the point is, everybody can intermingle well without, and everybody can get along. There's hate. I mean,
and with that, why don't we go into telling each person a little bit of history so you can see what we mean? Okay, so we're going to start that. Watch this.